ago. A $41 million project was inaugurated at a former US air base. But for thousands of babies in Vietnam, this cleanup is coming decades too late. Dominic Kane explains.
A weapon used in a war long since won and lost, but where the casualties keep coming. Agent Orange was one of the main toxic sprays that the US military deployed in Southeast Asia to destroy the jungles and forests being used by their Vietnamese enemies for resupply and protection. Between 1962 and 1971, the US dropped nearly 80 million litres of pesticides and herbicides on the landscape. Vietnamese officials say 4.8 million people were exposed to Agent Orange. Almost 1 million of them were killed or maimed as a direct result of the toxic dioxins inside the spray. But more than 40 years later, a new generation of victims is being born. These babies, the latest to suffer from exposure to the dioxins. They target people indiscriminately. People like Vo Duoc, who lives near the former US airbase in Da Nang. He's only just found out that he and his family have high levels of contamination.
When we got the test result, we were devastated. We were worried for our health, for the contaminated environment we are living in, and even more for the future of our children.
While many in Vietnam blame the Americans for the millions of deaths, deformities and disfigurements, for decades the US government would not acknowledge this, saying there wasn't enough scientific evidence. Now, the most contaminated areas in Vietnam are former air bases in the south, like in Da Nang. It will be the first site to be cleaned up as part of a joint US and Vietnamese operation.
The Agent Orange issue, it is a legacy issue that we remain concerned about, and we have increased our financial commitment to dealing with it.
But how much money can help these children? Victims of US weapons in a country where both the landscape and the people still bear the scars. Dominic Kane,